Hey guys, welcome to the letters episode number 3. So today we are going to read you some emails from the Heal organization website and Lane Bagley from Sorensons Ranch Exchange that I found interesting. And yeah, let's get into it. So I believe it starts with this part here, October 25th, 2005. Dear Lane, I have a news article in my records that states that Sean was accused of sexual misconduct with a minor. If those charges were dropped or reduced to just a drug offense, it does not change the facts of the accusation or his questionable nature. And he should not have been allowed to access to be he should not have been allowed access to minors directly or indirectly. In addition, if he is no longer working there, that's great. But why was he ever allowed to work there after sexual misconduct? Some of the kids you treat some of the kids you treat are likely sexual abuse victims. Why would you allow someone even accused of sexual misconduct to have any employment at your facility? The fact that you use hired kidnappers, escorts to transport children to your program when multiple states have outlawed this practice as being horribly traumatizing and in violation of federal law highlights how multiple states have outlawed this practice as being horrible, traumatizing, and in violation of federal law highlights how very removed from ethical responsibility your program is. We will post that Sean is a former employee per your request, and we will rephrase the statements about sexual misconduct to include the words accused of and include that the charges were pled down to or reduced to drug offense only. You you can manipulate parents and sell your program with the best salesmanship in the world. The National Institute of Health has found that residential treatment and wilderness programs are harmful to children and their families. It is very difficult to get action out of the Utah government when it comes to revoking licenses of facilities such as yours. The fact that they did suggests that there is something so obviously wrong going on at your facility that they were unable to avoid taking that action. To allow Provo Canyon School and WWASPS to retain their business and operations licenses even after the lawsuits and repeated reports of abuse, and to pull your to pull your program your treatment place, whatever you call it, suggests much indeed. Usually, Utah won't pull a license unless there is a proven wrongful death or severe sexual misconduct. They ignore all claims of physical and psychological torture. So, did your program kill someone, or was there a rape? I guess you won't admit to either, as you're you are the one uttering half truths and lies. When HR 1738 passes and regulations are put into place, you will change or you will no longer exist as an institution. Godspeed till that date. And I guess so that was the first letter, but I think this was the original letter that Lane Bagley wrote before that one was written. Says Lane Bagley, October 25th, 2005, 8:23 a.m. I appreciate what you try and do for others in allowing a sort of checks and balances and a way for consumers to find the good and bad about companies. However, I do feel that you should have some obligation to make sure that the info posted on your site is true. Otherwise, what is the value? On your website, it states that the son of our owner works here and is a sexual predator. He had a drug charge many years ago, not sexual charges. There is a huge difference. And if people can change, then I don't know why there would be a need for schools like us. This gentleman does not work with us anymore. And even when he did, he just did maintenance and did not work with the students. Like I said before, would it have mattered if he did? I would very much appreciate it if you took the false information about us off your website. The other comment about us is understandably from a disgruntled parent and is full of half truths and lies. Wow. So he first emailed them, and then the website wrote the other thing I just read. And then I believe after the first thing I read, Lane wrote, I repeat, get your facts straight. Sean was not accused of anything to do with sex, nor was he working for Sorensons at the time he got the drug charges. But this sex thing only exists in your mind. There is no such thing. The only accusations made is from you. We never had our license pulled. You're a poor historian and tend to want to make up your own facts. That is what is scary. And then the last thing they wrote to them, and I don't see any other responses, was Sean was working for you following his incarceration and conviction, not prior to his conviction. We've never claimed that he worked for you before or at the time of his arrest. This is something in your own mind, and according to the Department of Licensing and Rita D. Oram, you had your license suspended in 2001 specifically for having hired Sean Sorensen to work at your facility as a plumber slash janitor. Since Utah law disallows any facility that serves youth slash or children to employ ex-convicts, our site states that you won the appeal and that Sean no longer works for you. Unfortunately, we have to revisit all of our records regarding Sorensen, which will take some time to verify the allegations of sexual misconduct. So until we locate the article which states these facts, we have edited the posting regarding Sorensen as needed. When we are able to quote date, time, newspaper, and author of this story, we will edit the critique to all information relevant to your program. I know what I read will diligently work to expose any of the misconduct at your facility and any facility that defrauds parents and child abuse and abuses children. The National Institute of Health, Dr. Margaret Singer, and thousands of mental health professionals, attorneys, and survivors of abuse at facilities such as yours are working hard around the clock to ensure the safety of children in this country and around the world. It's unfortunate that due to the lack of oversight, your facility and others like it are allowed to operate without proper inspections or any insurance of child safety. We usually offer programs an opportunity to be removed from our list. But since we have reports of abuse at your facility from parents and survivors, and since you've had problems with suspensions at your facility, we are not in a position at this time to do this. Your use of escorts and sensory deprivation to change behavior is enough for us to show that you torture children through terror and POW style behavior modification slash mind control. You use the same methods that high security units in prisons use, and Amnesty International, as well as the UN Treaty of Human Rights, define the methods you use as torture. Again, Godspeed to HR 1738 and the Parental Consent Act. Sincerely, Angela Askew, coordinator. Wow, that's pretty fucked up. So, my opinion on all that is, yeah, Sorenson's is kind of doing what it does best, is kind of sugarcoat things and kind of make themselves sound like they didn't do anything wrong and try and manipulate the situation. Like you can see Lane was immediately responding in a way that was like almost trying to downplay what happened and kind of put words in the author's mouth. And yeah, that's the kind of typical behavior that you would see from the staff that works at Sorenson's Ranch School, and the way they run the school, kind of manipulating the parents and manipulating everyone around them, and teaching people that manipulating and lying and cheating is a good method, because that's pretty much all you learn when you go to this facility, was to cheat and lie. And to be honest, like, I've heard I've heard rumors supposedly of this character, who's actually the owner of the ranch, Lane Bagley, that he had slept with some of the female students that he had at his off-campus housing, which is just something that I've heard. And I don't have a doubt in my mind for 1 second that it's not true, because of the first of all, the fact that there's been a lot of sexual misconduct swept under the rug, and secondly, he has teenager girls living at his house permanently, full time. And also the guy is pretty fucking creepy. So with that being said, I don't fucking believe a word this guy says. And yeah, I don't think anyone should send their kids there. He's the first person that you'll talk to if you call this place. He's the first person who will facilitate things. And yeah, fuck that place. Seriously. So thanks for tuning in to the letters. Appreciate you. And we'll see you soon. And we'll see you on Thursday for a brand new episode of the podcast. And with that being said, have a great rest of the day. I'm out.